Morning. So today I am starting to look at my Firebird a little bit, and we are looking at putting that rocker panel in, the outer rocker panel. So basically, I am following a guide that John at Vinyl Village Garage did with his 68 Firebird, the Great Pumpkin. So I've watched his series about 16 times, and I have realized that John did things for a reason. He did it in order, which he basically states, and that is to build rigidity on the outside of the car so that I can put it on jack stands so that I can cut out the inside of the car. So in order for me to cut out the inside of the car, I have to have the cradle removed. And the cradle on this car is down here, sits underneath the car, and is holding it all up right now. I need to get it on jack stands. I need to get it leveled so I can take dimensions and so on and so forth. So in doing that, I found some more issues that need to be handled. Quarter panel that's getting replaced, the front section, that the door lock mechanism, and the whole front of that quarter panel is pretty solid on my car, except for I found some holes in it. I'll show you here in a second, which is going to take some patching. So I'm going to need a new quarter panel. So I think before I get this rocker panel in there, I'm going to need the quarter panel so I can section a portion of it, which I'll show you here. But at any rate, you know, you don't want to get the cart before the horse, and I need to get an order through AMD and NPD and get some stuff coming so that I can get these panels replaced in the right order, so that I got a good solid car so I can lift this up properly and so on and so forth. So I guess that's my saying of the day, so on and so forth. So anyways, here we go. Let me show you some of the stuff that I've found. So looking down here, I have the new outer rocker panel sitting here. And when I did, I started looking a little closer, you know, when I'm putting it in, and you'll notice first thing you see is this right here. Okay. So this section right here needs to be replaced. Now that's part of the quarter. Okay, that's part of the whole quarter. So here's the question. Do I replace the whole quarter and do that, or do I section that piece? Now the rest of the quarter up here, good shape all the way down back here. But then we get into this fender flare business. Okay, so this was, I think I've stated before, a 60s race car. Okay, so this had big meats on the back of it. And that means that someone put fender flares on it so that they could, you know, make room for those tires. So these quarters have been chopped. You know, they've been chopped here. This is all built up. This is all built up right here. It's got round rod. I don't know if somebody bought these somewhere. They're not fiberglass. It's steel work that has been done, because it's in the back there. You can see it's got some rot to it. So I don't want the fender flares there. So the fender flares got to go away. So I have to decide whether I'm going to replace this whole quarter, or am I going to just replace the outer section? I was going to do exactly what John did at Vinyl Village Garage, and I was going to cut right here, put this section on. Now mine's rotted in the back down here, so this needs to come off anyways. It gets a new tail panel, so I'm going to take this off. So, but I was going to section and do the same thing that John did, because there's nothing wrong with this panel out here. I got a little surface rust in it, but there's nothing wrong with these panels out here, and I want to keep the numbers on them. I want it to be original. However, I'm seeing that I've got rot there. Now, I've also, let me grab my light real quick. It's also rotted right in here. So this inner brace, solid back here, all the way back where it goes to the top, but I see it's been cut. So I may have to get this inner fender brace first so I can weld this to it, so I can weld that to that. So cart before the horse today. Now I have to do the toe panels down here. So you can see where this toe panel comes down right here. This is gone. And this right here is the inner toe panel, and that is gone. So, whoops, gone. So that has to come out. So that brings this brace right here, seems to be good. So I think I'll be all right to the rocker panel. Now this inner rocker is gone. So I have to do the inner rocker, which I was going to do like John did with his floor pan. So I was going to do that like John did with his floor pan. And yeah, this getting a little more complicated down in here, but I'm going to order my panels and then move on to doing something else while I order my panels, because there's other things I can do. You know, I got the hood, the doors, things like that. So I'm going to get my order made through AMD and NPD. NPD, I wish I could get everything through them, because I could just run down to Detroit and pick it up. Saves you a ton of shipping, because I'm only like hour and a half from Detroit. So I'm going to get what I can, but like the big panels that I want to be absolutely perfect, I'm going to get the AMD, like the floor pan and the trunk pan. And the trunk rails, I get the OER, as like John did that comparison, and they're basically the same. So I'm going to get the frame rails from OER, MPD, and save myself $100 a piece, which will buy more panels. I found the toe kick panels that are the braces for the whole front end that are rotted on the one side of mine. I found those because they're out of stock everywhere and you can't get them from AMD. I found those in a direct online. So I'm gonna get those coming, and those are real reasonable, but finding them was kind of a pain. So I'm gonna get those coming this next week, and that'll be the basis for me to get in there and do that real support bracketry stuff. So we're getting moved into our shop. Got to get my welder and stuff over here next week. This week is kind of right off. I'm going to be in training at work and not going to have any time to be over here in the shop this week. I get back Thursday, I think. So, you know, so there is going to be a little bit of a delay. But as you can see, we've started bringing in toolboxes over here from the other shop. And as we get our toolboxes and everything organized, then we'll be able to start doing some more work. But I got my door set up over here. And then I also have a door right here that I started looking at. The passenger door that I thought was better than the driver's door is not better than the driver's door. The bottom of the door is pretty rotted out. So I'm going to have to do some steel replacement there, but no big deal. We can take care of that. So that gives me those two things to do while I wait for my parts to come in. I thought I would be able to get right in on doing this outer rocker panel, but I see one thing leads to another and it doesn't look good. So I'm going to have to get some parts coming and then, you know, build it up from there. And but like I said, I got a lot of stuff I can do. I got Up here, I've got stuff that I got to investigate there and see how bad that is so I can start stripping paint down. I got the windows that got to come out. That's a lot of fun, so I got to get that done. And all the little groundwork, the columns got to come out, the pedals got to come out, all the old crap wiring that's going away, this got to come out. So, I mean, I've got a ton of stuff to do, so it's not like I'm stymied. Just got to organize myself and get going on pulling stuff out. But hey, it's working on it, yeah, and that makes my heart sing. So I just got to keep moving and go from there. So till I talk to you next week, you guys have a good week, and we'll see you next week. Woohoo!